Hello there, it's me Shubh here, and what's up? Today we are going to discuss about excise duty. So, what is it, and what is it? So, let's get started. Excise duty. Actually, it is a central. It is Central Excise Act which introduces you excise duty. It's actually a tax charged by government on manufacturing or production of movable goods. Actually, I have notes what it's made by me. It's self-made notes, so it will going to help you while I'm just explaining you something. So I have just written everything here, so you can just read it if you don't have much time. So you can just pause the video and read whatever it is, and at the same time I'm just explaining you, so it's really going to be helpful for you. So let's get started. So what is excise duty? Actually, it is a kind of a tax which is charged by government on a manufacturing or production of goods. It has few condition on the applicable or leviability of excise, which will going to read or learn soon. So basically, why it is called excise duty, not excise tax? Because tax is actually a wide term. It's used in income, like income tax, wealth tax, good tax, or even in service tax. And or in short, you can say tax is actually a wider term, while duty is narrower term, and duty is only used for goods. So now you can understand what's the basic difference between a tax and a duty. Duty is only used for goods, while tax is used for lots of things like income tax, wealth tax, goods tax, and service tax too. And actually, central excise duty is governed by entry number 84 of the union list, and in state excise duty, which is governed by entry number 51 of state list. In our course, which is a CA course, IPCC, we learn normally about what central laws are. We don't learn about what state laws are, because state laws varies from state to state. So for a basic idea, we always study central laws. So here we are going to study about only central excise duty, not state excise duty. So it is really relevant to learn that entry number of it, and that is 84 of union list. So central excise duty is governed by entry number 84 of union list, and central government can levy excise duty on basically everything which is manufactured in India, and that is movable goods. But it has few exceptions, it cannot levy the duty on alcohol for and liquor for human consumption, opium, Indian hemp, narcotics and narcotics drugs, because these all things are excisable, but excise duty is charged by a state government, not ki central government. Hence, all those are excisable, but those are those duties are not collected by central government. And next is basic section 1 of CEA. Now you are wondering what CEA. Actually, this video is for your revision, so I hope you know what CEA. Even though I would like to tell you that CEA is Central Excise Act. It is an act by which whole excise is governed. So Central Excise Act 1944 is applicable to whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. And I think you know very well what India called. India includes up to 200 nautical miles in the sea from the baseline. So CEA, that is Central Excise Act, is basic provision of charge of collection of duty. It's on whole central government. So whole CEA is of central government. And then CETA. What now you're wondering? Then we just learned CEA. Then what the hell is this CETA? Actually, CETA is part of CEA, which got delinked in 1985. So now there is two things. The first is CEA, and the second is CETA, which stands for Central Excise Tariff Act. Actually, in 1944 or before 1985, there was only one thing, that was CEA. And in 1985, some part of CEA got delinked or got separated. So that the another part which got separated is called CETA, and it contains a really important things. CETA contains, actually it got separated in 1985, as I just told you. CETA contains the classified movable goods into 98 categories. Categories and rate of excise duty are given in schedule of CETA. There are few schedules in CETA, actually 3 schedules, and the whole 98 categories are cut down between those threes. There are 3 schedules in CETA, and the Schedule 1. Schedule 1, it gives all excise goods, all excisable goods, rates of excise duty as applicable on them. So in Schedule 1 there is a really long list of goods which are excisable and what the rate of those excisable goods. And then Schedule 2. Actually Schedule 2, it's been abolished in 2006, but still we do have to knowledge about the पता होना चाहिए like that. So Schedule 2 is Schedule 2. Some of the goods from Schedule 1 are chosen for special or additional kind of duty. So few goods from Schedule 1 are included in Schedule 2, so they can levy a special or additional excise duty. As I told you, this duty has been abolished in 2006. And then Schedule 3, some of goods are mentioned in which process of labeling, packing, repacking, that's are included. So all these are deemed manufacturing. So जो actually manufacturing नहीं है, but still government say this is a manufacture, so that's called deemed manufacturing. There is no need to create a panic. We just going to soon we are going to learn, or we are going to study what manufacture is. So that was the section 1 of CEA 1944, and now the basic section, the charging section of excise duty, and that is section 3. So excise duty is levied if following 4 conditions are satisfied. So what are those 4 conditions? Those are known as 4 M's. The 4 M's, and these are movable, marketable, manufactured in India, and mentioned in the schedule of CETA. So if a goods is manufactured in India, and that good is mentioned in CETA, and that good is movable and marketable too, then excise duty is going to be get charged. And otherwise, if there is a any of them, if any of M is missing, then excise duty shall not get charged. Like if goods is not movable, then excise duty will not going to charge. If it's not marketable, then it's not going to charge. If it's not mentioned in CETA, then it's not going to get charged. And if it's not manufactured in India, then obviously it's not going to get charged. And then few points that are really important to get remember. First, ownership of goods is not relevant, but process of manufacturing is relevant. First and second, excise duty is payable by the person. Excise duty is payable by the person manufacturing the goods. That means the person is liable for the excise duty who is manufacturing the goods. Government is also liable for excise duty if they are producing or manufacturing any kind of good. In excise duty, taxable event is manufacturing, the event when manufacturing gets started, but excise duty will be payable at the end when the whole good is manufactured and ready for removal. Ready to removal from your factory, your godown, or wherever it gets start manufactured. So on the removal, the excise duty is applicable. Then what's captive consumption? Captive consumption means if a goods are produced or manufactured and they are marketable, movable, but they are also liable for excise duty, but they are used by company again as a initial good. They are going to further process it. So that's known as captive consumption. And then goods produced or manufactured in SEZ. I hope you know what SEZ. SEZ stand for Special Economic Zone, or 100% EOU, Economic Oriented Unit. So, and which are exported outside India. So it's a case of export. The excise duty shall not be applicable. But if goods are sold in DTA, those goods are sold in DTA. That DTA stands for Domestic Tariff Area, then excise duty will be charged, and that excise duty will be charged equal amount of custom duty. That means the whatever the rate of custom duty, that will be the rate of excise duty if goods are manufactured in SEZ or EOU and then sold in DTA, domestic tariff area, I mean. If such goods would have been imported in India, they would be treated like they are just got imported in India. Even if free samples are also liable for excise duty if they are manufactured in India, they are movable, they are marketable, and if they are mentioned in CETA, then they too are liable for excise duty. Warranty goods. Warranty goods are those goods, goods produced or manufactured in India which are used for replacement in warranty period. So they are too liable for excise duty. These were the basic introduction of excise duty, what are liable and what are not, like that. They all are really important points, and I do question on them too. There's a lots of question in practice manual about them, so you can just go and check out the practice manual for the questions, for practical questions actually. And then type of excise duty, there are a whole lot type of excise duty, almost 6 or 7 type of excise duty. The first is basic excise duty. We all know about that. It's charged as per the Schedule 1 of CETA. So whatever the basic excise duty is, actually the rate of excise duty is 16%, but government has given a general exemption of 4%. Then in short, after taking that exemption, the basic excise duty is of 12%. The rate is 12%, which is applicable. And then special excise duty, Schedule 2, goods are taken from Schedule 1 and they are mentioned in Schedule 2, so they are kind of special goods like pan masala, soft drinks, air conditioner, etc., which are liable for special excise duty. But we all know that Schedule 2 has been abolished in 2006, so it's no longer applicable on any of goods. And the third is national calamity contingent duty. It's simply important good duty. It is charged to meet the heavy burden on government which arises due to calamities. It is charged on tobacco, pan masala, cigarettes, and all type of vehicles except most of two-wheelers. That's it. Rates of NCCD. Pan masala it's of 23%, on tobacco it's 23%, and on two-wheeler it's just 1%. And the next is additional excise duty. It is charged under section 85 of Finance Act 2005 as a surcharge. So in a nutshell, it is charged as a surcharge. It is applicable only on 4 items, and those 4 items are pan masala, tobacco, cigar, and cigarette. On pan masala, tobacco, cigar, the rate is 10%, but for cigarette it varies from the size of cigarette. So you all know that cigarettes are available in market in various size, few are small, few are big, so they are depends on their size. Actually the rate is dependent on their size. And the next is duty on goods sold in DTA. We have just read about them. जो भी goods DTA में वापस आकर सोल्ड किए आते हैं उन्हें import जैसा माना जाता है, and the duty is equal to the custom duty. The excise duty is equal to the custom duty actually. And the next is clean energy cess. It is charged on production of coal from coal mine in India. So it is a kind of cess which is charged on production of coal or extraction of coal, I mean actually. At present, the rate is rupees 100 per ton. And the next is education shares. We all know about this. This is not something which I am going to explain, I think, even though I would like to explain. Education says 2% for primary education and 1% for secondary higher education. And then we all know excise duty is charged on goods what we manufactured. Then what is actually goods? So here, the term good has not been specifically defined in anywhere in CEA or CETA. So, however, accessible goods are defined. So they have gave us a bit of hints on what the good is and what the accessible goods is. Good will include all type of articles and materials which is capable of being brought and sold in a market for a consideration, and such goods will be deemed to be marketable. In short, they just want to tell us that goods includes everything, all type of article. सब कुछ include होता है goods में. And material which are capable of being brought and sold, जिसे आप खरीद सकते हैं, बेच सकते हैं ओपन मार्केट में किसी भी प्रकार की कंसिडरेशन से, such good is deemed to be marketable, और उसे marketable भी कहा जाएगा. And then Supreme Court judgment. It's really important judgment. It's a case law about Union of India versus Delhi Cloth Mill. So Supreme Court decided that in order to be called goods, an article must be capable of brought to the market for the purpose of sale or purchase. If there is any kind of article which is brought in a market for the purpose of sale and purchase, then that article is good. Then next is movable goods. So what is movable goods? Any kind of goods or article which can be transported from one place to another for the purpose of sale, that is movable goods. Nothing complex. And the next is marketable goods. What is marketable goods? We have just learned the goods, the movable goods, and the judgment of Supreme Court, Union of India versus Delhi Cloth Mill, what is good. And the next is marketable goods. So if a goods are capable of being sold, then such goods are marketable goods. Even if a single purchase is sufficient to determine the marketability, that means if there is a single person who just wanted to buy your stuff, then that good is marketable. Even if product has short life, okay, it can be sold during the short life, then it will be regarded as marketable. Yeah, like milk products, they have really a short span of life, like 2 or 3 days. Even if they are get sold in that period, then they are marketable. Goods may or may not be sold in India. Even if goods are not get sold in India, that means you are exporting them or something else, they too are marketable. So excise duty will be leviable if you are manufacturing a good in India and just selling it out of India, then they are actually marketable. So excise duty will be leviable. And then intermediate goods. What is this intermediate stuff? Let's get started. Goods manufactured, produced, which can be sold in market but not sold, they use as a raw material. They are like captive consumption. I think we just read what captive consumption is. एक्चुअली कैप्टिव कंजम्पशन में कंपनी खुद रॉ मटेरियल मतलब जो भी गुड मैन्युफैक्चर कर रही है उसे फर्दर मैन्युफैक्चर करती है. सो जो उसने गुड मैन्युफैक्चर किया है उसे ऐसा रॉ मटेरियल मान करके उसे फर्दर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करती है. इंटरमीडिएट गुड्स आर सेम. एक्चुअली गुड्स जो कि मैन्युफैक्चर प्रोड्यूस किया जा रहा है उसे सोल्ड मतलब उसे बेचा जा सकता है मार्केट में, बट कंपनी इज़ जस्ट यूजिंग दैट गुड एज अ रॉ मटेरियल फॉर फर्दर manufacturing, further production, or I mean there's a further they are going to add something or like that. Example like sole of shoes. They first create the sole of shoes and then they use the soles to further manufacturing it. There is a further process on it. Grapes for wine and sugar for sugarcane. Sugarcane for sugar. So these all are intermediate goods. And next is, what is excisable goods? We have just learned the goods, movable goods, marketable goods, the condition of marketable, and the next is excisable goods. So what is excisable goods? If a movable good which are mentioned in CETA, and for a particular rate is there's a particular rate of every single good which are mentioned in CETA. So if a good is, in short, if a good is mentioned in CETA, then that is excisable good. If a goods are not mentioned in CETA, then such good is not excisable. I have just told you earlier when I was just starting the video. If a good is excisable, then it is mentioned in CETA. If it's not, then it's not excisable. There is a two more condition, that if a good is mentioned in CETA but there is no rate, actually the column of rate is blank, totally blank, then such good is not excisable too. But if in a rate column there is a 0 or there is a nil, then that good is excisable, but no excise duty will be paid. That is called excisable. That is also called non-dutiable good, like rock salt and common salt or bamboo, etc. These are excisable goods, but these are non-dutiable goods. That mean ये excisable तो हैं, but इस पर कोई ड्यूटी नहीं पे की जाएगी, because in CETA there is no rate is specified. There is a 0 or nil on the rate column. So and the goods on which government has allowed the 100% exemption are also called non-dutiable goods. And the next is the whole lot big thing, and that is manufacture. We are all talking about manufacturing of goods. Then what is manufacturing? So as per section 2 of CEA, that means Central Excise Act, manufacture includes any process, कोई भी तरह का काम, which is incidental or ancillary to completion of manufacture of product which mentioned in Schedule 1 of CETA. In short, manufacture एक तरह का process है जिसमें goods को transform किया जा रहा है into a product which has some commonly, which is going to be a new product, entirely new product, जिसका एक नया नाम होगा, नया character होगा, नया use होगा. That is manufacture, and which is also included in Schedule 1 of CETA. So manufacturer 2 is defined by Supreme Court of India. In our case, that is Union of India versus Delhi Cloth Mill, and they just said manufacturing is a process of transformation of a product to such an extent that it becomes completely or commonly new product. Commercially new product, having different name, use and character. कोई भी ऐसा प्रोडक्ट जिसे आपने ट्रांसफॉर्म किया है किसी भी एक नई चीज़ में, जो कि कमर्शियली एक नया प्रोडक्ट है और उसका डिफरेंट नेम है, यूज़ है, कैरेक्टर, देन दैट इज़ मैन्युफैक्चर. एंड देन द नेक्स्ट इज़ डीम्ड मैन्युफैक्चर. आपने सेक्शन 3 शेड्यूल 3 में देखा था, देयर इज़ अ डीम्ड मैन्युफैक्चर थिंग. सो व्हाट इज़ दैट डीम्ड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग थिंग? These are some process, actually it is a kind of process where activity is not a manufacture, but government has assumed the activity as a manufacture. In short, government ने ज़बरदस्ती अपने ऊपर एक manufacture का नया बोझ लाद दिया है, and they just call it deemed manufacture to extract, I can't say extract, to levy the excise duty, like that. Such processes are mentioned in Schedule 3 of CETA, and those processes are labeling, relabeling, packing, repacking, repainting or demolishing them and again creating them, like that. They all are included in deemed manufacture. So that's all in deemed manufacturing. And then manufacturer. If there is a manufacturer, then there is really someone who is going to manufacture this thing, and that guy is manufacturer, and it contains a whole lot of thing, actually. So what is manufacturer? Manufacturer is a person who himself manufactures the good. Such person retain all the income arising due to the manufacture. That person is manufacturer. That's the first point. The second point is person who gets good manufactured through hired labor, like a whole lot company did that stuff. They just hired the labor and they just start, actually they employ them and start manufacturing. Like a person who get good manufactured by their hired labor. Hired labor is an employee which works for other, such other person is manufacturer. And the third one is the person who gets work done through some other person who is not an employee. That means they are actually, it's same as above one, the hired labor sort of, but it's not an employee. In the above case, that labor was employee. So if a person having a control over the process of manufacturing, such person who has control over the manufacturing process, actually who is supervising that process, then such person is known as manufacturer. And if a person don't have control over manufacturing, then the person doing the activity is actually a manufacturer. So that was the whole a lot in manufacturing. I mean manufacturer. I would like to tell you in Hindi, manufacturer मतलब हर वो व्यक्ति जो मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा है इज़ मैन्युफैक्चरर. वो व्यक्ति जो मैन्युफैक्चरर करवा रहा है, मतलब दूसरे को, किसी को हायर करके वो कुछ ना कुछ सामान बनवा रहा है, एज एन एम्प्लॉय उसने हायर किया है, देन दैट गाय इज़ ऑल्सो मैन्युफैक्चरर. इफ़ अ पर्सन हु इज़ जो काम करवा रहा है बट who don't have a control over that process, then I mean who has control over that process, then that guy is manufactured. But if that guy don't have control over that manufacturing, then the actual guy जो सच में manufacture कर रहा है, जो बना रहा है, जो worker है, that guy is manufacturer. So that was all in introduction of excise duty, and in our next class I would love to extend it a bit more. It's not actually अभी ख़त्म नहीं हुआ है. There is a whole lot in excise duty, but I will promise within a 2 hour you will really going to learn all the key factors of excise duty. So stay connected with me. Do like my video, subscribe it. If you have any kind of question in your mind, do comment down below. I would love to reply them. I would love to make video on them if there is any kind of issue on them. So and best of luck for your exams. Thank you. Bye bye. It's me signing off, Shubh.